Hey, what's up guys? Dan here. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys an amazing video explaining barcodes, FNSQ, UPC. Should you buy a barcode from GS1 or from any other secondhand website or anything like that? I'm going to explain everything. I know there's so much confusion surrounding this topic and barcodes specifically, and this is probably one of the questions that I get the most from my students and from people that watch my channel, from my subscribers, and from my audience. So after this video, there's going to be no more confusion. It's much simpler than you think. So some of the biggest questions with barcodes are: should I buy a barcode from GS1 or should I buy a barcode from a secondhand website that's cheaper, right? And basically, if you don't know what GS1 is, if you don't know what the other websites are, GS1 is the official issuing company for barcodes. So if you're going to buy a barcode from GS1, and I have the website open right here, this is what it looks like. If you're going to buy a barcode from GS1, basically it's an official barcode. Nobody else except you has the rights to use this barcode, and you don't have anything to worry about maybe Amazon shutting your product down or anything like that. So that is GS1. I've personally never used GS1, and I'll actually explain why soon, and you don't need to either. It's totally up to you to make the decision, whatever it is that you want to do for your business, whether you want to use GS1, whether you want to use any other website that is cheaper. So a lot of you may have heard that Amazon doesn't allow barcodes that are not bought from this website, that are not GS1 issued, as they call it. And in my personal experience, I've used other websites that are cheaper, and I'll show you guys exactly which sites that I've used, and they've worked perfectly. So some of these websites are Barcodes Mania, right here, I've got it open. This is the one that I've used the most, and nationwidebarcode.com. So, the concern here, you guys may be concerned that these are secondhand barcodes, and, it might not be worth it paying the cheaper price for a barcode, and then, potentially getting banned or whatever, having your product removed later. And I think this is more of a scare tactic, because I've never had any problem. I've always bought my barcodes from Barcodes Mania. Personally, it's like $5 a barcode, and right here, so one barcode is $5, 5 barcodes $10. So I've always just bought like 10 barcodes at a time for $15, for my next 10 products or whatever, right? So, it's super cheap, and I've never had an issue. I've never had any emails from Amazon that my barcode is not GS1 issued, anything like that. And I think that a lot of people overthink when they're getting started on Amazon, when they're getting started in any kind of online business, or any business in general. A lot of people overthink, and I just want you guys to understand, the whole goal here is for you to make money, and you need to do you need to forget about all of the details, and you just need to do whatever it is you need to do to make money, to make your first dollar online, to make your first $1,000 online, $10,000 online. But it's totally up to you to make the business decision. So barcodes from barcodesmania.com, and the other site that I know is good is nationwidebarcode.com. Barcodes from here cost they're super cheap. Like I said, they're like $5, $10, $20 right here. But on GS1, if you wanted to go the official route, and then obviously with GS1, you're 100% like it's your barcode. There's absolutely no risk involved. You're obviously paying a lot more. So with GS1, right here they have an estimator right here. So if you put in how many products you will need that have barcodes, I just put in 3, right? So it's kind of a membership system. And right here, input the number of products you plan to barcode in the next few years. So right here I put 3 as well. So this is just for to see the cheapest rate. So basically from 1 to 10, so the annual fee is $50 right here. It's like the membership fee, and the initial fee is $250. So basically GS1 costs about $300 if you're a small-time Amazon seller. Maybe if you want to make 6 figures a year, it will cost you $300. While Barcodes Mania and Nationwide Barcodes are going to cost literally less than 1/10 the cost. Like I said, I've always used Barcodes Mania, right? It works super well, and Nationwide Barcodes, I've never heard anybody having any kind of issue. I know many Amazon sellers, all of them use Barcodes Mania and Nationwide Barcode, and it all works great. I think that these are the two most reputable websites for selling barcodes, and I've personally never had an issue. I know a lot of Amazon sellers that have only used these websites specifically, and they've never had an issue. I've actually never heard of anybody having an issue. So totally up to you. It's a business decision that you have to make, and obviously I won't be telling you what to do for your business. But like I said, I think in my opinion, what I would do, I would just use Barcodes Mania and Nationwide Barcode. So now let's get to the topic of FNSQs and UPCs. I think this is also a super confusing topic. I get this question so many times. Dan, what do I do with FNSQs and UPCs? It's super confusing. So what an FNSQ is, it's a label, it's an Amazon label that identifies your product within the Amazon infrastructure, within the Amazon warehouse. So basically, the workers at the warehouse, when they scan it, they know what your product is, so they can ship the right thing to the customer. So basically, you don't need to have this on every single product. It all depends, and I'll tell you exactly why. So we've got the FNSQ, which we've covered, and there's also the UPC. The UPC is an internationally known barcode, basically, and obviously the GS1 and the sites that I've talked about, those give you a UPC. So all of your products, every single one of your products requires a UPC. You need to buy UPC for every single one of your product, okay, from these sites or from GS1 or whatever website you choose to use. So how it works is, let's say, okay, for example, and I'm going to talk about bundles and stuff too. So let's say you're selling this bottle, okay, I don't know, it's just the first thing I found. So let's say you're selling this bottle. So this bottle requires, so they have a UPC right here. So you need a UPC for this unit, right? It needs to be on the label right here if you're going to use, obviously I assume you're labeling if you're doing private labeling, so it needs a UPC on here, okay? If you have a box, you can just include it in your box design. If you're going to do like a 2-pack of something, so a 2-pack of bottles or a 4-pack, that whole thing requires 1 UPC. Not 4 different ones. Let's say it's 4 bottles that you're selling as a unit, as 1 pack. It doesn't need 4 different UPCs, it's 1 UPC. So you need 1 UPC for every kind of product, whether it's a pack or whether it's a unit that you sell. All right. So every single product that you sell requires a UPC. You can put it, right here on the label, on your product label, or on the box if you're using a box. So you need a UPC. However, you also may need an FNSQ, and basically how you find that out is when you go into Amazon in the Seller Central, and you're actually creating your shipping plan, which I show how to do this on in some of the other videos on this channel, and especially in depth in the Amazon Freedom course, which the link for that is in the description below. It is closing soon, by the way. But basically, the Amazon FNSQ, when you're creating your shipping plan, so when you're actually, creating the plan and you're telling Amazon, okay, like I'm going to, ship this product into Amazon, in the shipping plan, as you're filling it out, it's going to tell you whether, there might be a message and it will say, we only need the UPC to be on the product, right? So as long as you have the UPC on there, we can identify it, right? But sometimes it will actually tell you need the UPC and you also need to print out the Amazon product label, so the FNSQ. But sometimes it will actually tell you that you also need to put on the FNSQ on there. So in that case, the most important thing is to have this right here, these labels, to have this label on your product. So what I would do is I'd have, let's say this is the label. So what I would do is I'd have the UPC on the actual label or on the box design, and then let's say this bottle is shipped in a transparent bag, so they're called OPP bags. That's like in shipping terms. So let's say this bottle comes in a transparent bag. You want to have the UPC on the label, and on the actual bag, you can ask your supplier to sticker the FNSQ on there. So, but it depends. Okay, you don't always need to have your FNSQ on your product. Right? I would recommend if you're selling your own private labeled product, and you're creating your own listing, and if the shipping plan tells you don't need an FNSQ, that's totally cool. You can just use your UPC on there. If you're doing private labeling, which is obviously probably what you're doing here, then there's no risk that there might be a counterfeit product or anything like that, because your UPC is tied to your listing. So you can, if the shipping plan doesn't tell you that you need an FNSQ, you don't need to have an FNSQ on there. You don't need this label right here on your product. But if the shipping plan tells you that you do need an FNSQ, then you want to have your UPC on there, okay, and an FNSQ stickered on the packaging. Also, another thing, let's say you're doing a bundle. I get this question a lot. Let's say you're going to bundle 2 different products together. That is 1 UPC and 1 FNSQ. All right, not 2 different UPCs. Okay. So also Amazon, if you're going to bundle something, Amazon will not bundle things for you, right? So basically, the golden rule here is, however you want the customer to receive it, you need to have your supplier prep it that way, because Amazon is not going to go out of their way to repackage anything like that. So anyway, guys, I hope this cleared up all the confusion about UPCs, FNSQs, whether you should buy from GS1, Barcodes Mania, right? Like I said, totally up to you. It's a business decision that you have to make. But I will continue to be buying barcodes from Barcodes Mania, Nationwide Barcodes, until I run into any problems. It's been a little less than a year, and I've never had any issues with Barcodes Mania or Nationwide Barcodes. All right. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys are into passive income, making money online, and living your best possible life, living your dreams, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment, leave a like, and you can go ahead and reach out to me on social media. My Snapchat, Instagram, those are down below. I post some cool stuff on there, and there's some meetups and stuff too. So yeah, and if you guys are interested in the Amazon Freedom course, I will close it very soon. We're hitting like 1,000 students in there soon, so the link for that is in the description below. You get me as a mentor for life. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys soon. Peace.